For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live, because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And welcome to OBX Today live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker on this first Monday of 2022. And it's a manic one to say the least. The weather really is blowing up out there. Has been pretty much all night long. And glad to have you along with us with the latest on what's going on with this coastal storm. And for us, it's going to just be a blow and rain. Yes, there is the possibility of some snowflakes coming through on the beaches later this afternoon. Even really not a whole lot of a chance of that, really. It's just a slight chance. Really going to be west of us and inland and then north. Wow. Are they getting snowed on already? Richmond and those areas on up north. And we had some people checking in. Dave up in New Kent, Virginia, saying he's already got sleet and snow with the temperatures falling. And that's what's going to be happening up that way. For us, though, it's really just going to be a rain and wind event. And really the winds. Man, the winds really whipping last night. And really got up to about 30 overnight. Some spots we've seen a lull with them. And some spots it has continued to honk. Eventually going from northeast to northeast. Well, it went from southwest to northeast to northwest as we get through this rest of this morning and into the midday. Now, we do have a tornado watch in effect. That is for the areas including Dare and Hyde counties. Let me pull that up for you here as there is the tornado watch map. I'm going to go to their big display right now for you just because of the significance of this. Tornado watch, in effect, Dare County, Hyde County, Beaufort County, then all the way down the coastal counties down into South Carolina. That's the possibility of seeing a couple of tornadoes, isolated hail up to small marble size, and scattered wind gusts to 70 miles per hour possible as we do have these thunderstorms that are going to be rolling through those areas. I'm going to switch to the radar right now. And really, we've seen these clusters of heavy showers and thunderstorms at times with heavy downpours here. Where the biggest significance, this line right here was the one that they were watching for the potential of causing some tornadoes. That line stretching from right along Cape Fear now on up towards Greenville. And you can see the temperatures. You you got to really look down on it. But the temperature's in the 70s down here right now. Yes, that's right. I said 70 degrees to start the morning on the first Monday in January, down at 7:30 in the morning. That is just kind of a wild situation. That's one reason why. And then you got 50 up here, 42, 38 out in Winston-Salem now where the rain is. Looking up north, there's the snow rain line right along the Richmond area, stretching over to the eastern shore. Yes, Andrea, we've had tornadoes. Most of them water spouts that became tornadoes, but we have had tornadoes form. That is not unusual at all on the Outer Banks. Most of the time they are water spouts that become tornadoes, or tornadoes that just move across from land to where we go back several years. Go back to that situation. Probably the most recent I can think of at the moment, where we had a tornado that formed on the mainland and crossed the Sound and then hit Duck. That was what storm was it? It was tornado dropped down at Harbinger, right near the water park, where the water park is today, about 10 years ago. That's the most recent I can think of right offhand. You caught me there, but that's not unusual. They are possible. So we do have that tornado watch, but we're on the northern edge of the tornado watch map, and that's because really the highest probability of seeing a tornado is expected to be to our south, down the south coastal sections of North Carolina and South Carolina. But again, you go back to the radar, and you can see that that tornado type line of storms not really there. Let me go back because I'm going to switch between the radars here, and just to give you a heads up, we will be switching over to Beach 104 because we're going to do an update with Jody on his show on Jody in the Morning on Beach 104 here in about 5 minutes. So we'll bring you that. I found I need to get that stream up and running here while we're thinking about it. All right. So, sorry if I'm bouncing around on you on the maps right now. Here is the National Weather Service radar. It doesn't show the difference between the line and rain and snow. You see this line right here. There's the front. That's really where the concern of the possibility of seeing tornadic activity. These clusters back here. They have had power outages reported around the Triangle this morning, and that's there. I'm just getting a little bit of new information coming in right now, so bear with me for just a second. But you can see this cluster here that went through the Triangle that's knocked out power out that way. I'll go back now. We'll switch back over to our smaller display just so you can see what the conditions are like in various locations. Let's see if I can get, there we go. Yep. All right. We're just trying to get the stream up because Jody's going to be calling us here in just a few minutes.
What's going on with the...
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Just make sure.
We'll be chatting with Sam Walker in about 10 minutes on what to...
All right, Jody's the stream's running a little behind right now. Is it? No. Okay. Yeah, it's not running that far behind. Maybe about 30 seconds. Okay. There's a live shot from Corolla right now. You can really see where the water's coming up to the dune lines. We are at high tide right now. High tide was right around 7:30 this morning. So as you can see, that's going to cause a little travel problems for the folks trying to get up back and forth from Corova this morning. Probably what we're looking at, we'll see this high tide cycle. One more high tide cycle tonight. Shouldn't be as bad tomorrow, but we do have the potential for some minor overwash on the ocean. Let's see. High tide at Oregon Inlet, 7:58. So we are pretty much at high tide up and down the beaches right now. I'm going to head down south now. Here's a look from Jeanette. It's not quite as rough there. And part of that is because we've had much more of a north to northeast component out of the winds up here on the northern beaches as you get up into Currituck. Really for the last 8 hours. That's shifted to the northeast and really blew since about 1 o'clock this morning, 2 o'clock this morning, and has blown hard ever since. The farther south you go, it's been more of a southerly component much longer. Here's a shot from Rodanthe. You can see as we head farther south, there's Rodanthe, there's Avon, and really not all that bad down that way. And then you look at Hatteras, and it's even better there than I expected to see this morning. We did think that might be the potential area to see some overwash, even though the water is up close to the dunes. I'm not sure this camera doesn't zoom down. It just pans. So we might be able to see if we're getting that water up. Oh, there it goes on the zoom. Let's see if, yeah, it looks kind of close. But, it's not all that rough down there. So, the overwash potential on the ocean side really not looking like it's going to be there, at least on Hatteras at this point. It really looks like it's going to be more of a Corova thing right now. Now, that could change. You know what? I'm going to flip over to Ocracoke real quick just because show you there's Silver Lake this morning, very docile. Water's really not all that up. We are going to see the wind shift to the north, and the water may come up down there this afternoon and evening. But again, we're talking about 1 to 3 feet. That's the current forecast for our water level rises, 1 to 3 feet above ground. And really, it's not going to be all that long-lasting event. I'm going to flip over now back to show you our display. Let's see where is the, yeah, here we go. All right, sorry, I'm going to pull that back down. Oh, yeah, I'm going to find our weather briefing here from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Yeah, that's just not very... Some of these graphics don't play well unless you go full screen, and a lot of you folks want to see the ocean. As angry as it is today, these are those days folks do love to see it. Let's see if I can get over to weather.gov/MHX, which is, of course, the National Weather Service here for the Outer Banks from Duck south. All right, strong coastal storm. Yeah, here's the latest briefing. Okay, now we got it. All right, so really we're in the height of the northeast part of the storm right now, at least on the northern beaches. As you get down south, it still hasn't gotten there yet. Here's kind of what they're thinking. 1 to 3 feet above ground with minor to moderate water levels. Gusty winds, localized down trees and power lines. We do have that potential for damaging winds. Once the wind, and we do have a wind advisory. We haven't even talked about that. We got high wind warning, high surf advisory, coastal flood advisory, and a tornado watch now in effect. Some localized heavy rain is possible. This just coming in from Dare County Schools. They're going to do an early release today at 1 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. We're going to be on early release schedule today. No after-school activities. So early release schedule now for the Dare County Schools, and no after-school activities. That just came across from the Dare County Schools. With winds and gusts expected after 1 o'clock, they feel like they can do the early release and not have kids and buses out on the road. So again, with Dare County Schools coming back today, some school systems weren't coming back today locally. All right, back to our weather maps here. The coastal flood hazards, pretty much the usual spots on the sound side and the ocean side. 1 to 2 feet above normal in some spots from Duck down to Killable Hills. Once you get on Roanoke Island and Nag's Head, it could be 1 to 3 feet. And that goes all the way down to Ocracoke. But again, really the height of this is going to be high tide. Then we're going to get the wind shift and those winds out of the northwest, which may push the water up. But what does help us is that low tide this afternoon is around 3 o'clock, and then high tide tonight around 8:30. That may help us avoid any real serious problems with the rain. With the overwash. At least on the sound side, the ocean side, maybe a little bit. But again, we're just talking about a minor thing. The really biggest thing about this system is going to be the winds. I'm going to switch over now. This is just a map we've got. Where's Windy? You know what? That stinks. We can't get Windy to work for you here. I might be able to get windy.com to come up. We can't go and zoom down on the forecast side of it, but we can show you kind of, there we go. All right. So as you can see right now, the center of the low is located right around over the sandhills at the moment. Okay, Jody's giving me a call right now. And Jody, we are doing the Facebook Live thing at the same time, so bear with me here. I was just explaining what's going on with the winds, and you just come to me when you're ready to go, buddy, all right? 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Okay. All right. Let's tell you what, folks. We're going to switch over to Beach 104 on our audio side right now. And then stay with us here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. And you'll catch our update here on Beach 104. Then we'll be back with you live here in just a moment.
Riding high when I was king, I played it hard and fast, I had everything. I walked away, you want me then, but easy come and easy go, and it wouldn't. So anytime I bleed, you let me go. Yeah, anytime I feel, you got me, no. Anytime I see, you let me know. But the plan and see, just let me go. I'm on my knees when I'm begging, cause I don't wanna lose you. Hey, yeah, ra-da-da-da, cause I'm begging you. Put your love in the hand out, baby. I'm begging you. And put your love in the hand out, darling. I need you to understand. Try so hard to be your man, the kind of man you want in the end. Only then can I begin to live again. An empty shell I used to be. The shadow all my life was hanging over me. A broken man that I don't know. Won't even stand, that never stands to be my soul. Why we're chilling, why we're chasing, why the bottom, why the basement, why we got good, she don't embrace it. Why the feel for the need to replace me. You're the wrong way, trusting the good. I went up in the feature town where we could be at. Like a heart in the best way, shit. You can give it away, you have, and you take the bait. But I keep walking on, keep opening the door, keep open for. That the door is yours, keep also home. Cause I'm the one that live in a broken home, girl, I'm begging. Yeah, I'm begging you. So put your love in the hand now, baby. I'm begging you. So put your love in the hand now, darling. I'm finding hard to hold my own. Just can't make it all alone. I'm holding on, I can't fall back. I'm just a call, not your face of black. I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. So put your loving hand out, darling. I'm begging you. So put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. So put your loving hand out, darling. I'm begging you. So put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. So put your loving hand out.
Beach 104, today's hit music, Måneskin, Beggin', Jody in the morning. Appreciate you tuning in, spend some time with us. 57, Beach 104 studio. A lot of rain outside the Beach 104 studio at the moment. Also that tornado watch, Dare and Hyde counties. But we got to talk to Sam Walker with OBXToday.com. And Sam, you're there. And what we want to know is, these temperatures we have right now, are they just going to start dropping?
Yeah, pretty much. Looks like we're looking at about midday to early afternoon. We'll start seeing the temperatures just bottom out. And we're not talking about going from where they're at right now, the upper 50s and even some 60s. And if you head down south, you look at the temperature maps, I mean, as close as Greenville at 7. Those are, we're going to see getting down into the 40s and upper 30s here along the Outer Banks. As you get inland, you really got to get up to the state line and out towards Hertford County, Northampton County, those areas before we see where it's going to be a possibility of seeing some snow, with temperatures dropping down into the low 30s, at least during the day. Now, tonight we'll probably get down into the upper 30s on the beaches, and maybe even the upper 20s once the storm system clears and the skies clear off overnight tonight. But, yeah, we're going to see this temperature drop that we're going to be experiencing probably about midday, just after lunch. We've got a northeast wind right now, and I'm just looking at some of the temperatures. Kitty Hawk at 57, Moyock at 44. So we have seen some of that temperature drop already starting in Elizabeth City, 48, Eden's at 48, Columbia's at 52, Wanchie's at 57, Avon at 66. So, that line right now of the temperatures really is running from, say, the Outlaw Sound, the northeast up to just north of Corolla, where it's 52 right now. But we are going to see that temperature drop happen as we get into the midday hours.
Sam, everyone wants to know, you touched on it briefly, Sam Walker, OBXtoday.com. Snow. Where in the listening area of Beach 104, terrestrially speaking, not online, where could we see some snow?
Well, it looks like we're probably looking at it into the peninsula at least. So we're talking Hampton, Newport News, over to Suffolk and Franklin and those areas, and Williamsburg, where we've got a lot of listeners. Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, you're probably looking at a mix. Maybe a mix that's more leaning towards snow as the system gets out of here on that backside wraparound moisture around the low once it gets offshore. For those of us on this side of the state line, you're really going to have to go out to, like I said, a Hosky on out towards Roanoke Rapids to really guarantee you're going to see any snowflakes. But that's not to say we don't see a little changeover. And I'm talking about accumulation. Now, do we see some snow in the air? Probably so. Even Elizabeth City, Edenton, Currituck, you might see some snow in the air. But the ground temperatures are in the 50s and even low 60s right now. That's your soil temperatures. Anything that falls is going to instantly melt. It may not even make it to the ground because the air, even if the air temperature is like 38, 37 degrees, the ground temperature is just enough that it can counterbalance that and not allow us to see the snow. But really, the farther north and west you go, the more likely you're going to see the snow. Now, if you got to go up to Richmond today, you might want to change those plans. It's already snowing there. And as you get up towards D.C., they're talking about 10 inches of snow up there. They're talking about 8 to 10 on the eastern shore. So if you've got to head north today or west, it's going to be a mess out there, and it's just going to get worse the farther north and west you go.
Talking to Sam Walker, OBXtoday.com. And Sam, before we let you go, we've had all this rain, then we get the colder temperatures. Is there any chance we wake up tomorrow and have icy roads because of the colder temperatures and the precipitation, or is that ground just too warm?
That could be a possibility, at least on some of the elevated surfaces on your bridges. That may be a possibility, maybe on your steps as you come out tomorrow morning. I mean, we're looking at a low tonight on the beach of 31, but it's going to stay windy. So once the rain gets out of here, the winds are probably going to be blowing so hard, it'll probably dry things off before it has a chance to freeze. If you're headed over to Elizabeth City, the low's down to 26 tonight. Yeah, you could see that. We could see some potential icing problems, even with that, like I said, even with that soil temperature being up where it is. It's the paved areas that drop. The temperatures change a lot faster there. So, yeah, we could potentially see a little bit of icing issues once we get into the early morning hours tomorrow. So that's something to be concerned of. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with it at obxtoday.com and on B24.
Absolutely. And of course, there's Sam Walker and his junior weather watcher, Waylon, his grandson, giving us the update. Yep. Sam, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jody.
7:46 to have your weird news coming up. Also, Ed Sheeran on the way. It's Jody in the morning on Beach 104.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
All right, back here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. I'm Sam Walker. Yeah, we did have a little bit of audio crossover there. Sorry about that. Tried a little something new with doing the radio and the TV live here on Facebook and YouTube with Jody over on Beach 104. And we're going to have updates throughout the day on our stations on Beach 104 and Big 94.5 WCMS, 99.1 The Sound as well. Hi, Waylon. See, Waylon's checking in with us as well. He's helping out here in the newsroom today. So, all right. Go back to the radar. One thing we didn't talk about with Jody was a tornado threat. The tornado threat really has subsided, it looks like, at least for our part of Northeast North Carolina. But we can't rule it out, and that's one reason why there's still that possibility. This front right, or let's say this pretty strong line here of embedded showers and thunderstorms still has to make its way through the area. So that's where the concern about the tornadoes is you've got that front that's going to be crossing the area over the next hour, 2 hours. That's why we're under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock. It looks like the low itself actually is like just centered over Raleigh. That's the center of the rotation. You can see here on this map how much the winds are rotating right here. There's this frontal boundary that's kind of across from Dunn over to Kinston, New Bern, and even Avon. And that's where the temperature is 68 in Ocracoke right now, 66 in Avon, 57 in Wanchese with an east wind. Here's that stronger northeast component that we're getting right now from about Kitty Hawk, right around the middle of Kitty Hawk Road, then on up to Corolla and Corova at the moment. So that's part of what you're getting with this onshore wind here. So really the instability, that onshore wind is probably going to cut down that instability chances. But there is a possibility there's some severe thunderstorm warnings out here in the triangle right now. Let me go check my emails to make sure I haven't missed any additional ones. Let's see. Yeah, they got power outages, about 8,000 power outages around Wake and Orange counties this morning out in the triangle. There was a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued earlier. That expired at 7:30. That was for this cluster of storms that were right around this cluster of storms right here that are moving to the northeast. That was that severe thunderstorm there's severe thunderstorms warnings right there. But I think I can actually pull up. Nope. Yeah, we'll get you a county map here and see if. Nope. Okay. The National Weather Service map that we use now just doesn't give us the full. I was hoping we get. Yeah, we can't, unfortunately. Nope. Or maybe it's under the advanced tab here. Yeah. Okay. Let me go over to the Wonder map because that can show you. Yeah, you want to see some things. Let's see. Here's a severe. Let's see if this gives us any data here. Yeah, this is just going to kind of give you the whole watch and warning map. There's a lot in there, as you can see. Really doesn't make it very effective. So, but we don't have any severe weather warnings right now. What we do have, we have a wind advisory for inland counties, for Currituck, for Hyde and Terrell counties and the Dare County mainland. A high wind warning is in effect for Currituck's Outer Banks, or for the Dare Outer Banks and for Ocracoke. All of Currituck right now is in that wind advisory. The coastal flood advisory, high surf advisory, and then a tornado watch until 11 o'clock. And again, that tornado watch is in effect for areas from basically the Dare beaches south and southwest. So that's where we're at right now. Our OBX Today Weather Center forecast, because really the weather is the main story today, is calling for rain, maybe changing to rain and snow, some thunderstorms possible. Temperatures dropping to 34 inland. On the beaches, we're looking at temperatures where they're at right now, and then dropping through the day into around 40 by 5 o'clock. It's going to be windy, northeast winds 25 to 35 miles an hour, becoming north in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 50 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight, then gradually becoming clear. Low 31 and windy on the beach. Inland areas getting down to around 26. The winds will be dying down. Tuesday, sunny, a high of 45 to 48. So that's where we're at as far as the weather situation goes right now here on the Outer Banks. We're going to keep our line up for now. We do have to cut away at some point here in the next 30 minutes to an hour just because I got to do some production work that doesn't allow. Well, actually, I think we can keep our audio line. Yeah, we can keep our audio lines up. But we are going to bring you, I want to switch back to Beach 104 for the audio and let Jody carry you kind of through the morning hour. And then we'll keep switching around. We're rotating around some of our camera shots so you can see things as Waylon is weighing in as well. So hang around, guys. We'll be with you throughout the day with the updates here on Facebook, on obxtoday.com, on YouTube, as well as at Beach 104, Big 94.5 WCMS, 99.1 The Sound, and Z 92.3. It's OBX Today Live. Stay right there.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Get some rain in the air. Rain throughout much of the area. However, 71 Hatteras, 44 Moyock. A big temperature difference throughout the region. Fun. We are young. Then we have your news. And of course, weather is in the news. Fun on Beach 104.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she is waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. And I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. No, I know that I